Hey guys, about to play a final match with the Exile deck. I don't think I've ever managed to actually win all 3 matches I recorded on a casual MTG video. I usually win 2 out of 3 or something like that. But maybe we'll win this one. Who knows? This is a pretty good hand. It doesn't have a looter, but it has Monastery Siege, which can work as one. I think we keep it. We have 2 removal spells and the big zombie fish. Seems pretty good. We do, in fact, need to draw another land, though, to make that be able to play Monastery Siege. So let's do that. There we go. Yeah, we don't have anything to do. Not having a turn 2 looter is sad. That's why I run 8 of them, so that I can do it a lot. All right. So the question is, do I play my Siege, or do I think I actually just hold up mana for Forbidden Alchemy, because then I can play my Angler next turn. I think that's what I do. Yeah, instead of playing the Siege. See what our opponent does with this mana. Plays a Siege Rhino, maybe. That would not be cool. Although, being able to play an Angler after my opponent plays one isn't too bad. Axebane Guardian. So we're playing a Defender deck. We're going to have to kill that thing quickly. So we may not actually get the chance to play our Angler right away, which now makes me kind of wish I'd decided to play my Monastery Siege. But, you know, I think what I did was what made the most sense at the time. So now we're going to play Forbidden Alchemy. I'll take an Angler, I think. Actually, Ideas Unbound's pretty good right now, and we already have 1 Angler. I think I take Ideas Unbound and throw the rest into the graveyard. Okay, we drew another Molten Tail Mastercore, which also isn't bad right now. I think I'm going to cast Ideas Unbound and then Murderous Cut this thing on his upkeep. We can Ideas Unbound again. There's not really a good reason not to, except for that I need to keep black mana up, so I need 1 black. And yeah, so we can't really play anything else because I really want to Murderous Cut this thing before it gets crazy. So we're going to discard Torrent Elemental, and yeah, Ideas Unbound, I think. Oh, I forgot to do it on his upkeep after I said I would. I'm good. Maybe he won't be able to do anything with it, right? Seems unlikely. Okay. Well, that's going to be a problem. In response to that, we are in fact going to cast Murderous Cut and exile. I'm trying to think if I have any way to deal with Worship. I don't really think I do. Not in my main board. I'll have to side in Dead Drop. And maybe Board Sweepers to be able to do anything. But we'll see. It is a problem, and we're going to deck ourselves before he does, obviously. So we're going to lose to decking. Even if we gain control of the game, we're going to deck ourselves. So not so good. All right, both Caryatids are now in play. All right. I think we just play Gurmag Angler. Also play our Mastercore, I guess, but he can't kill the Caryatid in combat. So play the Angler, and we're just going to exile all this stuff. Which means I still have to pay one more. And then I'm going to play my Merfolk Looter. No, in my turn. That Caryatid having hexproof is what keeps us from being able to ever win this game. Alright, definitely a defender deck, which is pretty cool. Now they can just block my Gurmag Angler all day, but I'm going to blow up the Stalwart Shield Bearer next turn. We're going to loot. And we're going to discard a Griffin. I'm going to swing. Probably just takes it. I mean, what's he worried about? If he decides to block, I can create all kinds of problems for him. Yeah. He does, in fact, decide to take it. I'll play Thought Courier. I guess I'll also play Monastery Siege. So we can deck ourselves even faster against this guy. Cons, right? Yes. In my turn there. So Dead Drop's coming in. Duress is coming in. Okay, we draw our extra card. Yeah, I think discarding an island is fine here. The Masticore could prove useful. I probably should have looted first, but maybe even bringing in Crux of Fate is a good idea because it can let us. So I probably will. I'll probably bring in everything that can mess with this board a lot. So we're gonna loot. Yeah, we don't need two of you though. And then we're gonna loot again. I think I just discard another Molten Tail Masticore because the removal could be nice, except we can never kill the Caryatid. I just have to get him to block something somehow, but he won't. So another Stalwart Shield Bearers, that disgusts me. It's a good thing we have two Murderous Cuts. Maybe now I can get him to block something. Probably not. I mean, it'd be pretty foolish of him. Probably should have Forbidden Alchemy. This card, a Swamp. And then we're going to loot. Yeah, we'll discard Torrent Elemental. And Thought Courier, too. We're already halfway through our library. Come on, block with your Caryatid. Then I might have a chance. No, you're going to block with that Caryatid. I have less of one. So I'm going to go Murderous Cut here. Then I'm going to go Murderous Cut. Just exile everything. That way I can Forbidden Alchemy should I deem it necessary. So now he's down to one creature, but the Caryatid is still obviously a problem. The Sylvan one, not the Carven one. Okay, take that off his upkeep. That was a pretty sweet 3 for 2, I guess, is what it ended up being. I think we've already used up all of our murderous cuts. Yeah, we have. Pretty crazy. Genesis Wave. That's annoying. He didn't hit anything, though. I mean, the lands. I guess. Alright, so we need to remember to Forbidden Alchemy at the end of his turn. Gets us closer and closer to decking ourselves. Get the Griffin, I guess. And discard the looter. Then do some more looting. Discard a land. Some more looting. And discard the looter. Drop him to 6. And then put the Torrent Elemental into play from exile and end our turn. So we have what would be lethal if it weren't for worship. I think after sideboard we've actually got a pretty good chance. But I don't really think I have any way of dealing with his worship. Since I don't have any way to exile stuff right now, I think I just discard the looter. And having him in my hand is better than having that in my hand. So this will put him at 1. Don't worry, I'll have decked myself pretty soon. The number of cards I'm drawing shouldn't be too hard. Alright, I'll discard a land. I'll discard him. I'll play him. No, I won't. Just kidding. Then I'll play Misthollow Griffin. Down to 19 cards. See what he does. I wonder how he wins if I weren't going to deck myself. Maybe he has Stalking Stones, that card that makes creatures with Defender not have Defender. It's kind of what I want to see so that I have a better idea of what I might want to side in. But I mean, we're definitely going to deck ourselves in this game, I'd say. If we don't, I mean, if he casts a big Genesis Wave right now, we're probably in trouble. Feed the pack. Okay, that's his win condition. So duress is definitely a good idea. It's one of his win conditions anyway. All right, let's put this down here. Sacrifice your Sylvan Caryatid, dude. Nope. Yeah, I think we may as well just scoop. See what we hit here, but we probably don't have a chance in game 1 against this guy. Down to 15 cards, and then Forbidden Alchemy's double. Yeah, so we're just going to scoop. And sideboard a lot. Scoop and sideboard. I still want to leave Murderous Cut in because he does have targets for it. Maybe the Masticore comes out. Yeah, I think the Masticore and the Sieges can probably come out. And we bring in Crux of Fate. another Murderous Cut, dead drop, and we also want Duress, I think. Is this toughness or power? I think it's power. Oop. Yeah, it is. I think we also want to try to bring in some Duresses because his win conditions and his ways of stalling are all non-creature spells. So, I mean, we draw enough cards that siding in 2 Duresses is probably enough. And we'll go back to 3 Murderous Cuts. It's probably good. So we've got to deal with Worship and or with his creatures on the table. In that game, like if we'd had Crux of Fate or Dead Drop at the right time, we would have won. So siding those in should help. I would like to play first. I think this is a keep, although we have no discard outlets yet. Maybe it's a mulligan. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan. It's just, I mean, the land to creature ratio is good, but it's just risky. Like, of course, this is awful. So, all right. Well, I'll keep this. You know, if you've got to have a 5-lander, having 5-card hand, 4 lands in your board sweeper is pretty nice. Especially if we can drop it after he empties his hand. And we drew into our friend the Thought Courier too, so it's even better. Wall of Omens, okay. Alright, we're going to loot. Discard an island. Play an island. And we'll cast Forbidden Alchemy at the end of his turn. Worship. No, X-Bane Guardian. Not as bad. I'd like to be able to hit the Worship while it's still in his hand with a Duress, but maybe we'll hit a Duress here. Nope, but we did hit. I think I take the Thought Courier. Throw everything else in the graveyard. Okay, we're gonna loot. Discard Misthollow Griffin here. I'll play another Thought Courier. And our Drowned Catacomb. So the nice thing is, like, I can play my Scob Ruinator and start being aggressive, and that'll exile creatures that won't be hit by my Crux of Fate. So that's pretty good. I don't quite have enough things to exile for him yet, but I will soon, hopefully. Maybe I should have discarded my Thought Courier, but I figure if I'm looting twice a turn, I'm going to hit a couple creatures somewhere. Like that. Of course, that's not one that I really want to be discarding. That's better. Yeah. So, yeah, let's play out our Ruinator now. Exile these 3 cards. So we now have basically a Misthollow Griffin in our hands. I think that's all we do for now. And I have a Torrent Elemental and a Misthollow Griffin who can dodge my board sweeper when I eventually play it. Which is bound to happen, like, you know, if he plays Worship or something. Doesn't seem like his deck will be very sturdy against a Crux of Fate. Didn't see any dragons, so that's good news. He's adding a bunch of mana for Genesis Wave, maybe. You can do it for 5 right now, I guess. He has 6 cards in his hand, which is gross, thanks to his Walls of Omens. Yeah, Genesis Wave for 5. He had a couple good things, but nothing I'm concerned about yet. We just let him do his thing. Yeah, I don't know actually now. I mean, he can just do another massive Genesis wave if I don't do something here. Okay, so let's loot. We'll discard that. And we'll draw a card. A dead drop could be useful later, so I think I'd rather discard a land. I'm going to swing for 5 and then Crux of Fate, I think. Try to take away his momentum. Plus, I'll just be able to play my Ruinator again from my graveyard next turn if I want to. I just don't want him to be like Genesis waving for 1,000,000 every turn. So we'll blow up his board and our board, but our board's little handles that a little better than his does. And we'll end the turn. I can just play the Ruinator again for my graveyard next turn. This is an interesting deck we're playing, that's for sure. Salt formation, that makes more sense. Okay. Hadn't seen that yet. Definitely better than Stalking Stones. So I think we go Scob Ruinator. Unfortunately, we do have to exile the other one, but that's okay. Bring him back into play, and then I can just play Gurmag Angler here if I want to, but I think making sure I have mana for dead drop's good. And the Angler's not that good now that his creatures assign combat damage equal to their power. So he can swing it. He can also pump its power, toughness, which basically pumps its power. All right, he's not going to swing though, which is good. Kind of surprising though, because he could actually win the race in the end, I think. I had one more mana so I could play my Misthollow Griffin and keep Forbidden Alchemy out. I think I just play the Griffin. Gives us 8 in the air, which is pretty nice. It's down to 1 creature, which is also nice, especially because we have dead drop. So next turn, we could potentially dead drop away 2 creatures. Looks like he may be drawing all lands. I meant to cast Forbidden Alchemy there. Been making some mistakes on this video, but that's okay. We'll swing. And I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to leave mana up still for Forbidden Alchemy. If he doesn't have a way out, then he's dead anyway, so. Alright, so now we're actually going to remember to cast Forbidden Alchemy. We're actually 1 away from being able to cast it as, oh, the rest isn't bad. Could see what's going on in his hand. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, our opponent's scooped. That's good. Our sideboard of Crux of Fate ended up being pretty huge there, so I'm glad I sided it in. Tombstalker might actually be worth siding in, although I already clicked submit since it can fly, unlike Gurmag Angler, who can't deal with some of his defenders. All right, on to game 3 of this match against the Defender deck, and we have a real good hand. Dead Drop's good against him, and we have a Looter and 2 Forbidden Alchemies, which I like a lot. So, yeah, especially when you draw a Gurmag Angler. So we're going to have a turn 2 Thought Courier, turn 3 Forbidden Alchemy, and then turn 4 Angler, probably. It's probably what we're going to have rolling. God, those walls. If it weren't for our Crux of Fate last game, I think that would have ended up killing us. The card advantage he had from his walls. We're going to play the Courier before we play Ideas Unbound. I'm probably going to play Forbidden Alchemy before I play Ideas Unbound too, but it will stock our graveyard for our dead drop, which is kind of important. Right, he's got more mana than I'd like. I think I discard Misthollow Griffin, right? I'm going to play this, and then just pass the turn. And we're going to Forbidden Alchemy. And then Gurmag Angler. Yeah, that's not too bad, but he has, 6 mana already, which is pretty nasty for us. All right. Draw some a card rather. And then he has 4 mana still if he wants to do something else disgusting. Surprisingly, doesn't look like he is. And we're going to Forbidden Alchemy at the end of his turn. Yeah, I guess I'll put I guess I'll take a land actually, because the Scab Ruinator's 1 creature away from being active in my graveyard after I do that. So I'll just take an Underground River. Put these in the graveyard. We're going to loot. There's a Duress, which is probably something I'm going to be using. I think we discard an island. We could turn on our guy, but I don't really want to give up my Angler to do it. Let's use Duress to see what's going on in our opponent's hand. Which will also put another card into our graveyard. All right, there's Worship and Feed the Pack. Which is worse right now? Honestly, I think Feed the Pack is. Because we can eventually clear his board, but Feed the Pack can like overrun us. So yeah, we'll hit Feed the Pack. I don't know why he didn't decide to play that last turn. Do we want to play our Angler or leave mana up for another Forbidden Alchemy? Could also just Ideas Unbound. And that might be what I do here. Especially because I know he has Worship. Like, it doesn't really matter what kind of damage I'm going to try to do. So I'm just going to cast Ideas Unbound. Except I need to, pay blue mana to do that. If I cast Ideas Unbound, I'm more likely to hit my Crux and other stuff like that. And, yeah, that's not bad either. I think I discard my Ruinator, an Island, and a Merfolk Looter. So now I have, my Ruinator will be active next turn and can start doing stuff. We just need to keep trying to dig for, did he draw a Genesis Wave? No, Worship, that's fine. I'm okay with that, after sideboard anyway. Because if we can Crux and then we still have Dead Drop in our hand, our opponent's going to have a pretty hard time dealing. We're going to loot first. Ask questions later. This card's Swamp in this case. And then I'm going to cast the Ruinator from my graveyard, exiling a Misthollow Griffin, Merfolk Looter, and a Gurmag Angler. I could play my Gurmag Angler, but I don't want to. He'll be good post Crux. Once I get my Crux, he'll be better than he'll die, and it doesn't really matter how much damage I do to him until after I can cast Crux of Fate. I mean, doing damage is good, but 5 a turn's fine for now, I think. Misthollow Griffin I can probably get away with playing. Just to do some more damage in the air more quickly. I think that's fine. And I would if I didn't have Forbidden Alchemy. But because I do, I'm probably going to hold off. Yeah, Murderous Cut's not bad right now. Yeah, we'll lose a Torrent Elemental to the graveyard. We're 1 mana away, right, from flashbacking our other Forbidden Alchemy too, which is pretty hot. Yeah, we're going to end our turn there. Once we can flash it back, I mean, we got to hit our Crux of Fate eventually. Guess it could be the last card in our library or something, but double dead drop would work too, I guess. So we're going to Forbidden Alchemy. There it is. So we're going to put it into my hand. Graveyard, graveyard, graveyard. Does he? I forget if this says reveal. No, he doesn't know what I just took, so that's good. I'm not going to Crux just yet, though. I'm going to let him commit more and more things to the table. We're going to draw a card and then discard a card. I think Merfolk Looter is fine to lose. And we'll end our turn there. Another Wall of Omens. This is basically in our hand. Yeah, I've been waiting for him to use that. Probably should have Murderous Cutted it a long time ago because we know he has Genesis Wave. Oh, feed the back. That's bad. But not the end of the world. Certainly not the end of the world. I think we have to Crux now in this next turn. Drop him to 5 and then Crux. And then we can keep blowing stuff up with our Murderous Cut and our Dead Drop. Although, Feed the Pack's going to make our Dead Drop a lot less good. So, that's important to keep in mind. Okay, we're going to loot. Yeah, I think we just discarded a land. Swing for 5. And then we're going to cast Crux of Fate. Destroy all non-dragon creatures. And we have the mana to play Gurmag Angler and keep Murderous Cut up, so I think that's what we do. So I should avoid creatures if I can, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I also avoided my Forbidden Alchemies because those could become relevant later too. And we leave Murderous Cut up as well. So if he plays one creature during this next turn and we blow it up, we basically win. So he's playing one creature. Don't play another one. If he plays another one, it's going to be hard, but not impossible. Okay. We're going to have to blow up the Overgrown Battlement with our Murderous Cut. Might as well pay that also, and 3. This way he gets 3 wolf tokens. I'm sure he still sacrifices. No, is he not? Are you serious? You are, right? Yeah, okay. It's like no good reason not to. I think we swing into this. He's got to at least chump it, and if we can take out 2 wolves, I'm kind of okay with that too. He basically has to draw a creature. Okay. Well then. Now we have to deal with all the wolves. We can deal with some with our dead drop. But it's not exactly ideal. We had to use our crux earlier than we would have wanted to. I need to draw my second dead drop, basically. I guess we can go ahead and duress, see if there's anything in his hand we want to get rid of. Find out if he has a creature in his hand. And he does, unfortunately. So it's going to be hard to overcome that. He's going to play it, make 3 more wolves. And then we're going to end up decking ourselves, most likely. So end our turn. Yeah, but I think we lost this one. Cruxing when we did. It's going to cost us. I probably should have just let him keep developing his board and then cruxed in the end. Okay, that's interesting that he's... I guess he's going to get so many wolves, he's like, whatever. We'll kill one of them. It would have been funny there if he's like, oh, I'm not going to play my Overgrown Battlement or my other creature in my hand. Why would I? That would have been nice for us. But now he's going to get 10 2/2 wolves. That's pretty much GG. I may as well just scoop. Let's see what we draw, but I think it's over. Yeah, having that earlier, having both of those earlier would have won me the game, but I didn't get them. Like when he had the 3 wolves in play, I could have cast both, but I didn't have that. So we lost to a pretty cool defender deck with Worship and Feed the Pack as the sort of combo to win him the game. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this month's Casual MTG, and don't